All right, we are continuing to bring you stories from the ground. Remember, the big story we've brought you is the continuing humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip, particularly over the last week. We now are receiving reports. It seems that a humanitarian corridor may have been negotiated. I'll wait for reporters to join us to confirm that, though. Let us have reporters join us in just a second, because remember, earlier this week, this was also a slice of news that had gone viral. The Israeli government then came forward and said that they were not creating a humanitarian corridor. So I will wait for our reporters to join us to confirm these details. The details we have right now on the screen behind me show you, as you can see, the Gaza Strip portion. Now, this is where Egypt is, and this, as you can see, is where Israel is. Now, the earlier humanitarian crossing that we had talked about possibly getting negotiated had been down here. This is where the Rafah crossing is located between Egypt and Israel. It is this crossing that earlier there was pressure for the opening of, because humanitarian aid, particularly from the World Health Organization, had arrived by plane in Egypt. So they were pushing for a corridor to be opened. We're still waiting for a reporter to join us to bring us more details about this. The region we're focusing on right now is the Al-Mawasi region. So right here, there is water. Let me just go over to our colleague to get more context. Israel has a blockade on the sea, on the air, and on the land in the region around the Gaza Strip. So it is only with Israel's allowance that anything can even be allowed inside. Let's go to my colleague Abhishek to get more context here. Abhishek, what are the details you're bringing us? Has a humanitarian corridor been negotiated?
Yes, it looked like it was being negotiated, but after what has happened in the last night, when hundreds of people have been killed in one of the deadliest attacks on a hospital in Gaza, it looks like the situation could become more uncomfortable, because Egypt has earlier not allowed this humanitarian aid to pass through the corridor, and after several rounds of talk with the U.S. leadership and other countries' pressure, Egypt had allowed actually that corridor to be used for the humanitarian aid and assistance towards Gaza. That is still a work in progress. But at the same time, what happened in the last night and after what has happened right now, that just a while ago, Israel has once again issued a notification for the people in northern Gaza, in fact, to move towards southern Gaza or Al-Mawasi, another safe settlement area where Israeli rockets would apparently not go and strike any location. That is creating a lot of humanitarian crisis, because people are still grappling with what has happened. Just last night, several hundreds of them killed, many families, separated, and the entire population of 1.1 million is being unable to move in any direction because of the imminent danger of rockets, and also they don't have much to save themselves, and any shelter or any arrangement has not been made available for them to live, even temporarily under any safe roof or with basic amenities or humanitarian aid, because now the water crisis is looming large inside Gaza. Some reports suggest that about 1 liter per day, that is the amount of water that every person will be allowed to consume. This has been the situation in Gaza. Medicines are running short, food items have running short. The international supply is awaiting at the Egyptian border. That is not being allowed. Flights
Abhishek,
are not being allowed.
we were just telling our audiences that the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, were saying that a humanitarian zone will be allowed in Al-Mawasi. Are you confirming then that after last night's developments, this will not be created, or it will? Are those talks still on? What details can you bring us there?
Israel has given a lot of, in almost every day that in the last 8 to 10 days that the counteroffensive from the Israeli side has happened, they have every day given a small window of about 3 to 5 hours when people could actually move about and go to the safer side or safer locations when the Israeli airstrike doesn't happen. So this time also, what they have given is another window of a few hours when people can move to that side, and that location will not be targeted, and during that hour they can move about without fearing for imminent rocket pounding on the Gaza. So that has been Israeli Defense Forces almost every day, in a way, offer or solution to the humanitarian crisis that is emerging in Gaza.
2.5 million people living in the Gaza Strip, 1.1 million moving from the north to the south. What this will look like, my colleague Abhishek joining us live right now from Tel Aviv. We will keep checking in with him right now.